Grab your boards. Welcome all surfers to Wavvy's Atlantic Ocean. Surf, 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 baby. You wanna surf on the title, Wavy? Yeah. Twerk, baby. For certain, she moving so perfect. Surf, baby. You wanna surf on the title, Wavy? Twerk, baby. I'm loving the way that you surf it.
All my niggas, they gang bang, and all these niggas do the same thing. Counting money, living insane. Steady mobbing, let my flag hang. Told them I'm ready. I'm throwing them monster like Randy. I know that these niggas can't stand me, but the automatic come in handy.
Yo, you already know it's ATM Wavy, aka Mr. OMG, and you know it's me in this Wavy's world. Salute to all the surfers for pulling up. You already know it's another Surfing Nation situation. You feel me? Alright, we about to hit that wave cave. Yo, you already know we in that good old wave cave. Salute to all of you the surfers for pulling up. We about to get right into it. Alright, I got a request. Couldn't find the request because I ain't gonna lie, it's been almost a month. But it popped in my head randomly, and the request was for me to break down a little bit of the difference when it comes to being a gang member in jail or being incarcerated, period, compared to being a 550 or a civilian. All right, 550 is just a cold word. All right, so it popped in my head. I'm like, all right, this would be an interesting subject to touch on. And at the end of it, right, I got a quick little story. It'll be a short story, but I was gonna do it before telling it. I'm just gonna go right into this story, and then if you around for the end, then you're gonna see it. But man, yo, dudes gotta stop being groupies for celebrities. And I witnessed a grown man turn to a super groupie, like right before my eyes. It was magical and shit. So yo, we're gonna get into this civilian versus being a gang member comparison, you know what I mean, when it comes to living life inside of jail or prison. All right, now I'm gonna try to run through it quick because I don't feel like this may be too long of a story, but y'all know I say that often and that should turn into 45 minutes, sometimes longer, sometimes, you feel what I'm saying? So we're just gonna rock and roll with how it go. All right, so before I get all the way into it, I'm gonna break this down into 3 subjects as far as civilians go, because the bulk of this is gonna be me talking about the typical civilian, but there are some outliers. You have the civilians that are related, you know what I mean, or connected closely to a gang member that has some type of status or rank, which would put them in a different category than a regular civilian. And then you got civilians that are Muslims. And I say Muslims over any other faith because Muslims in the jail system are usually not like any other religious section. You know what I'm saying? They kind of have like a gang element to the way they move. All right. And that's not a shot at the Muslims. That's just what it is. You feel me? So you got these 3 type of civilians. You know what I mean? Now, the Muslim civilians, like I said, that's almost like a gang. So of course we ain't gonna talk about them because they don't go through the same struggles as a regular civilian, somebody with no type of connection to Muslims. And the same go for the civilian that's connected to like a big homie or something like that, to where they might get a little extra more privileges than the regular civilian also. All right, so we got those 3 civilians. All right, and y'all know I be freestyling and everything, so you know, I'm just gonna go with the flow. There's really no organization to this shit for real. Know what I mean? So now, one thing I want to state is the streets, the jail or prison usually reflect what's going on in the streets. All right, I'm speaking more so from a New Jersey standpoint because I've been incarcerated in New Jersey. New York, I did 1 year out there. You know what I'm saying? I did like a brief moment in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So these are the only places I really got like the experience to be speaking about that, but I'm gonna more so be speaking for New York, New Jersey, you know what I'm saying? Because I actually did enough time in it to really have been in there, you know what I mean? To it, Georgia wasn't so much, I wasn't in there that long to really witness no real politics or nothing, all right? So anyway, when I was being incarcerated, which last time I was incarcerated was 10 years ago, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna also add that because some people might, hey, that ain't how I go now, or something like that. I'm talking about then. Now you trying to say it ain't what I'm about to say ain't how it went then. You feel me? And I'm sure a lot of this translate to now, but I'm gonna speak from my experience only. All right. So, like I said, what happens on the streets usually reflects what's going on. What's going on in jail usually reflects what's going on in the street, but it's intensified. Meaning, you can have a gang rivalry, for instance, in the streets. In jail, it's amplified to the point where in the streets you might give that a certain person a pass. In jail, there ain't really too many passes given out because niggas is low key looking for smoke. All right, so it's a whole lot of looking for, and if they find it, they ain't trying to give up the opportunity to capitalize on that. You know what I'm saying? So once upon a time, this conversation I wouldn't even be able to have because once upon a time the civilians was the street people. You know what I mean? They wasn't really technically civilian, but I'm saying civilian as far as they not belonging to a gang. That's what I mean. But you could still be a street dude and just not belong to a gang, and they technically wouldn't consider you a civilian. Know what I mean? But for the purpose of this conversation, civilian is anything that's not gang banging. I don't care what you're doing in the streets. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So once upon a time, it was street dudes that ran it. You know all the drug kingpins and everything like that from once upon a time. These dudes wasn't gang members. Now I'm saying they had crews and stuff like that, which could be looked at as a gang. But we talking about the modern gangs that we usually hear about that spread it all through the nation. You know what I'm saying? So once upon a time, yes, which mean in the prison and jail system was the same thing. It was dudes that wasn't gang members that was able to move how they wanted to move, you feel me, just based off of their street reputation. Nowadays, it's different. Gangs been in full effect for the longest now, and that's who runs everything, basically. Know what I mean? Like, literally, everything. So, we're gonna I'm gonna break down like a little bit of category, give you all the pros and cons, and some of these pros to being a gang member could also be cons, you feel me? So there's pros to being a gang member and there's pros to being a civilian, even though when I break it down, you might not see it that way or you may see it that way. All right, so boom. One of the first things is protection, right? Of course, if you a gang member, right, we got the hood behind us. You know what I'm saying? We got our set with us, you feel me? And when people know that, you don't get approached the same way as somebody that will get approached that they know don't got no backing. All right. So the protection element is different. Now, I mean, for example, like when us as a gang member go to the showers, for instance, you always supposed to have security with you because anything could happen. And dudes that take the opportunity to get you while you in that shower. You could be washing your hair, soap running down. In that moment, you're blind. You know what I'm saying? You don't have nobody to watch your back. You feel me? If you in there by yourself and anybody could do something to you, and I mean, opening your eyes wide because somebody doing something to you, all you're gonna do is make you more blind for real. Like you're still gonna be blind. So that's an example of why, one of the reasons why we gotta have security, to the point where if we don't have security, you could face repercussions for that. To where as a civilian, yeah, you don't have to have security, but same time, the likelihood of somebody doing something to you is lower actually when you're a civilian, unless you got like a target on your back. But if you just the dude that's there doing your time, you're not gonna have the type of issue that a gang member would have when it comes to the need for protection, right? Now, weapons and everything like that, of course, you coming in as a civilian, you're not gonna get no weapons given to you. You know what I mean? But as a member, if there's weapons available, they're gonna make sure you're right. You know what I'm saying? But that don't stop you as a civilian from making your own. Know what I mean? But just know you're gonna have to go through that. You ain't gonna just be going around and have nobody's gonna hand you anything. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, civilians may have other friends in there that even if they're not like a big homie that might pass them. So don't get twisted. Civilians be knowing gang members, and if you happen to be in there with one that you're cool with, then you may get something given to you here and there, but that's not guaranteed. You know what I mean? Compared to being a gang member, even if I'm not in there with somebody I necessarily know, if my set is in it or a hood that we're allied with, I'm still good. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. So me finding being protected by a tribe is way more likely than a person that's not banging, right? So, and on the flip side, the civilian that, like I mentioned, the civilian that may be cool with like a big homie or related to a big homie, you will have a little extra protection only in certain aspects though. Because let's say me, for example, I am who I am. I know you, or we're related. Yeah, I could tell my homie don't do nothing to you. He good. I know him. He family, blah, blah, blah. But that don't stop you from somebody else. That don't stop somebody else from doing something to you. Because there's other sets in there, and I don't control. My voice don't got nothing to do with all the other sets and everything. It got something to do with my hood. That's it. You know what I mean? So dudes may obey that on my side, but that ain't gonna stop nothing from happening to you from the other side. And if something happened to you by somebody else, guess what? I can't activate my gang on your behalf as much as I may want to. Now, I could get involved on a personal level, and me getting involved on a personal level will indirectly cause my hood to get involved because I am a freaking member. But then that could have me dealing with issues because it's going to be a case of, bro, you got beef going on, you know what I'm saying, on the behalf of somebody that have nothing to do with what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, ain't nobody bigger than the program. You feel me? So even that get tricky just because you know somebody. You know what I mean? Because you could become a burden at that time, because at the end of the day, all the other niggas ain't gonna feel no obligation to you. So niggas gonna be looking like, bro, why we getting this stuff? Because this dude getting himself caught up in something and you getting in it, and now we gotta back you up with bringing us in it. Like, nah, you know what I mean? So that could cause an issue, and now that could cause me to have to tell you, like, you gotta tighten up or you gonna be on your own. You feel me? Like, for real, especially if it's something along the lines of you starting trouble. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody, not people just trying to bully you or something like that. You feel me? And even then, you better stand up for yourself. Because one thing about me, I don't take up for nobody. I don't want to take up for themselves. That's one thing I don't do. You feel me? Like, nah. So, if you taking up for yourself and somebody else bothering you, that might not look that as bad because you're not the one starting stuff. But then you got some dudes that get big headed because they think they got the back end. You feel me? And they go out starting things and want to run for help. We ain't doing that. So just because you know somebody that's banging, remember, only that person is the person that obligated to come at your defense. Don't think because he's who he is and he told his homie don't do nothing to you that he's gonna go around and turn around and tell his homie to do something to somebody else on behalf of you who don't belong to the hood. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, right? So now, from the hustling aspect, you know, dudes get working, get whatever they get in, they trying to get off. Even dudes that run store, doing the commissary thing, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Most of them hustles, as a civilian, you're not gonna be able to like really get it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, it's gonna be other dudes selling the same thing you got 9 times out of 10, which means you're cutting in on theirs. You feel me? And you ain't no member, so they know if they get at you, you ain't gonna have no backing. You know what I'm saying? They got the numbers. When you're a member, you have the numbers. So selling anything and running store is likely not gonna end up going well for you. Even if dudes might decide instead of doing a hard press, they might do a soft press or try to recruit you to the hood. Because dudes that get brought home to sets in jail, you feel me? Especially if dudes see that it's a benefit to having them and they like the way you move. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't no pussy, you ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? And you know how to get to the bag. They might offer you a position first before they go the other route. But if you deny that position, then you know people don't like to hear no. And in jail, people really don't like to hear no, especially from somebody that really can't afford to tell them no. You know what I'm saying? So hustling, the only hustle that civilians tend to get away with is like drawing cards for people, because that's a skill. You know what I mean? If you somebody know how to draw real good, You know how to draw real good. Now that type of civilian, let me mention that. Now you a valuable civilian, that might give you some leeway in being like a person that draw postcards for people. Know what I mean, when Mother's Day come or whatever the occasion is, or just writing letters and they want you to do a picture, a nice picture and all that. Them type of dudes actually tend not to get touched by anybody, believe it or not. So if you have like a skill like that, to where like arts and craft, you can make stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you one of them people, you are crafty. You know what I mean? Like even a repair person, dude got walkie talkies and you good at fixing things. Now them handy people like that with them skills, them civilians tend to get more leeway than others. But just don't ever, no matter what you do, don't ever get too big for your britches and think that skill will make somebody just let you get away with shit either. But like get away with like getting thinking you're getting too big for yourself. You know what I'm saying? But outside that, usually them type of dudes you don't really touch. You know what I'm saying? Because different hoods, dudes from different sets use them, so they kind of get love from so many people that the one person that might step out and do something to them because they just don't know, they might actually have an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because dudes that develop love from like, yo, man, you wrote this card for my daughter, for my mother that's passing away, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no telling what that person done did for another person, skill wise, that might have really meant something to that person. So those tend to be protected civilians also. All right. So outside of that, like drug money and things, like I said, and running the store, nah, you know what I mean? I never seen it. You know what I mean? Not in Jersey, you feel me? But in New York, I did see a civilian run the store, and it was a white boy too. Word, that was different. You know what I mean? But New York was a little different where I was at. So even with New York, and it wasn't Rikers Island, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people assume Rikers when they hear New York, like it's not a whole bunch of jails and prisons in the state of New York. All right, it wasn't Rikers, it was upstate where I was at. But anyway, that was a little different in there, but that's a story for a different time. So majority of the cases, especially in Jersey, the Green Monster, I ain't seen that one happen. You know what I mean? A civilian running anything. You know what I mean? So boom. Now, one of the things that this would actually, to me, be considered a pro to being a civilian is the obligation standpoint. See, when you're a civilian, you're not obligated to anything. You know what I mean? You just required to stay in your place, of course. You know what I mean? Because you don't have the power. Yeah, you don't have a voice for real. As a civilian, I'm gonna keep it real, you don't have a voice. But as long as you stay in your place, you know what I mean, and not being anybody's way, civilians usually don't have a hard time. You know what I mean? But on the flip side, as a gang member, you have a lot of obligations. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I'm saying that, I'm gonna break it down. Let's say a dude you don't even know, but he's a freaking member. You know what I mean? Because, you know, hoods be big, hoods got different headquarters, you know what I'm saying? So, like for instance, I'm mob, but my area that I'm mob from, there's other mob homies, and they're from different projects, different areas. Where I'm from, we'll all be mob, you know what I mean? But in different hotspots, different headquarters for people, right? But if one of them homies come into the jail, even though I don't know him from a can of paint, I'm obligated, if I have, especially if I got like extra commissary and everything, and dudes don't have nothing coming in, which most times you don't, you know what I mean? Give them a few pieces, which means pieces of commissary. They probably give them a few pieces, you know what I mean? You might not even want to do that. You feel me? Or you might not really have it like that for real. You know what I'm saying? But it's an obligation. Like even me, when I first came in, I was the recipient of free commissary when I came in. The mild homie that was inside the freaking unit held me down. You know what I mean? So that's an obligation that civilian ain't got to worry about. Whatever commissary you got, that's yours. You know what I mean? Like it's yours. You know, you don't got to share with near nigga. You feel me? Just don't let nobody take it from you. You feel me? So you don't got to worry about that when it comes to phone calls. Y'all phone calls are y'all phone calls. Unless, once again, you let somebody take it from you, meaning you getting punked so much that dudes is making you get them three-way calls, because that's the thing. Three-way. Can I get a three-way? Can I get a three-way? The niggas that don't get no calls, they ask somebody for a three-way. And when you a homie, and me, I'm one of the homies that stayed on the phone. When there's other homies that don't get that same phone time, yo, blood, you can hold me down with a three-way, blood. Like, I'm trying to reach out to my girl. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to reach out so I could have them send me some bread, and like, she want to send me some bread. It'd be that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you could want to be like, nah. And don't get twisted. Don't let another homie, because me, I ain't, even though, yeah, I'm gonna hold you down with a three, but don't think this is an everyday thing either. Because at the end of the day, that's not part of my obligation. Every day, I gotta give you a three-way. No. So don't think I'm saying that, but still, you might not want to give nobody a three-way period. Like me, I don't like wasting my time. The time they give us out, because in them units, nigga, you only got a certain time to be out. You ain't out all day just chilling. When you go to Delaney Hall, it's way more freedom. You know what I'm saying? They having like the phones inside of the actual room and everything. I mean, you could sit there and beat down. As long as nobody else inside your room, they use the phone. You got time on it. You can just chill. You know what I mean? But when you're in them units, like when I was in the maximum security building, nigga, that shit count. Nigga, when we come out, I'm not trying to let you give you no three-way every single time anyway. You know what I mean? I got my own conversation I want to have. So, but still, as a civilian, you don't even got to worry about that shit, right? I mean, so the obligations is hella different. You feel me? Hella different. You know what I'm saying? Like, so another thing I'm gonna speak on is having to put in work and put yourself at risk that going to the whole, you know what I mean, which is, you know, segregation, getting like keep locked to where they keep you in your cell. Now, I mean, you don't go to segregation, but you're not allowed to come out of your cell, except for like they give you like a little bit of time to wash up. You know what I mean? But you go to the shower and come right back. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that happened during lockdown, when they lock the top and the bottom tier. Then they'll let you out real quick, take a shower, then you go back to your freaking cell, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't using no phone or nothing. At least when you go to segregation, they got the phone with the wheel on it. Like they be rolling it on the wheel. I mean, on like a little cart. You know what I'm saying? In some spots, they just let you out one at a time to go and use the phone. It all depends on how your spot's set up. I've seen both setups where they got the mobile phone, they bring around to everybody's cell, you get a certain amount of time to use it. Then they got some that just pop the cells and give you a short period of time. You could use that time to either take a shower or use the phone. Pick one, nigga. A lot of people use the phone and just do a bird bath in the shower. You feel me? I mean, in their cells. You know what I'm saying? Because them phone calls mean a lot. Like, phone calls are super valuable. You know what I mean? So your chances of getting in trouble as a civilian is like close to none. When you a member, anything that pop off, you gotta be a part of it. It got something to do with your hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's your movement getting into it, you bet not be that nigga still in the cell, or you're in Delaney Hall still inside the room when you know, because you're going to know anything going on with us, unless it's like a sudden pop off, like dudes just chilling, y'all all scattered around here and there, and somebody try to pop on one of your homies and they go up, then that's different. But usually if it's a move that we know is tension, everybody gonna be informed that need to be informed of what the temperature of certain things is looking like and whether we about to make a move. Now, I mean, don't be that nigga trying to duck wreck because you don't want to lose no good time. You don't want to, like I said, get keep locked, go to segregation. That's not even an option as a member. You have to be there, standing tall, do it all. That's it. Now, I mean, we don't care about your stomach was hurting. We don't care you was in the middle of a shit when it popped off. You better wipe that ass, boy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can't clean between, oh well, nigga, handle that when it's over. You feel me? Like, you better be out here, because after we finish whatever we going through, you're gonna be next. You know what I'm saying? And depending on how severe of a situation it was, and dudes felt like, oh, you was on some coward shit, you might be at danger of being labeled fool, and being labeled fool is worse than even being a civilian, baby. That's a whole different can of worms, you know what I'm saying? But once again, as a member, these are the things you're up against, the pressure. Not to mention, when the staff know you're a gang member, you're looked at different. Everything you get into, they're gonna assume it was something gang related behind it, to where, as a civilian, a fight is just a fight. You know what I mean? And for a gang member, it could just be a fight. You feel me? But let that person you had a fight with having to be another gang member, they're gonna try to pit a gang reason behind where it's just two men had disagreement. We just happen to both be gang members. You know what I mean? So it's even looked at different when you're a gang member. There's extra eyes on you. Even though it's not illegal to be a gang member, to participate in type of activity, gang activity, that's when shit get dark. You know what I'm saying? So the likelihood of getting in trouble is way more high as a member than it is as a civilian. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch your back more as a member because you have obvious ops to where a civilian don't have no ops. They just got personal ops, you know what I mean, from the street. But you would have to, one of them niggas you beefing would have to just end up in it to where with a member, it's a set versus set thing. So I might not even know you from a can of paint, but you know I bang this, I know you bang that. Automatically, we got to get at it. You know what I'm saying? We got to get at it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you're not allowed to check out. See, as a civilian, you could get away with PCing up or checking out if you know shit about to get real, because who gonna label? I mean, niggas might call you a coward or something, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're a civilian. The same way people say civilians, they could snitch, blah blah blah. Even though that's normally go for a civilian though, not the street nigga that's also a civilian. Because once you cross into the streets, we don't care you gangbanging or not. Anytime you decide to jump off that porch into that life, you're held accountable for telling, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Even though me personally, I don't give nobody a pass, not even civilians. Some people don't like that idea. But at the end of the day, you tell, nigga, you told on me, I'm gonna come see about you. I'm just keeping it real. I don't care about none of that civilian shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference too. We can't do no checking out. There ain't even no ifs, ands, or buts. You check out your food, period. Your label food. Your ass is lunch meat. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, you feel me? So that's why I'm like, people may think it's all motherfucking rainbows and roses when you're a gang member in jail because of the things that we're in control of, but we're held to a higher standard than a civilian. You know what I mean? As long as y'all don't get in our way, you're good. You know what I mean? And for the ones that like the Muslim faith ones, that, like I said, that get tricky anyway because a lot of gang members are Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Like they might be Christian ones too and stuff like that. But a lot of the members, especially the ones that have been doing a lot of time, going back and forth, taking trips, whatever the case may be, a lot of times they're Muslim too. So it's like it get down to a lot of niggas having to choose sides. So most of the time, the Muslims get respected in a way to not cross that boundary, because this has happened before to where Muslims and the Bloods had issues in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like shit done went up with the Muslims before, but the Muslims ain't going for it. That's why I said when I speak of most of these comparisons, the pros and the cons, I'm not talking about the civilian that's a Muslim, because you go effing around with them Muslims if you want to, my nigga, because you remember, boy, you gonna see niggas come out of nowhere. Like, God damn, is that me and you, nigga? And there are formidable foes. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? No sugarcoating here. So that's why I said what I said as far as using them as a part of this overall comparison thing that I'm over here doing. You know what I mean? So for most of y'all, you're not gonna be the civilian that's plugged in with a big homie that you might give you a little more leeway. You know what I'm saying? And you might not be a civilian, depending on where you're from. Now, you from Newark, there's a lot of Muslims that's not gang members in Newark. It might be a chance you a civilian that's a Muslim too. You know what I mean? If you somewhere like Philly, for instance, I feel like any nigga ain't walking around Philly, I'm gonna assume you Muslim off the rip. Word up, like that, like son right there definitely don't eat pork. And you might not be Muslim, but certain places, it's a higher chance of it being a civilian Muslim. So like I said, we just talking about the ones that don't fall into those two categories, all right? But at the end of the day, you stay out the way, for the most part, you would be okay as a civilian. You know what I mean? And for me to end this thing off, the best thing to do is not get incarcerated, period. Know what I mean? I'm here to tell you, I got 2 felonies. I'm not proud of them. I'm in the midst of trying to get these things expunged and everything, because shit, ain't nothing cool about having no record. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas' rights start getting, they start messing with your rights. Thankfully, I live in a state, Georgia, where the gun laws are so loose that they're not really on you like that. And when I say only like that, as far as you could not have an expungement from a certain state, but you could still down here if you get write a freaking letter, it's like a firearm pardon. I don't remember the exact name, but in Georgia you can look it up. They will pardon whatever your record is only for the state of Georgia for you to still carry a firearm just like anybody else that don't have a freaking felony. Fire. That's why I like Georgia. Georgia is one of them rare states where like the gun laws work in my favor. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you a felon and you didn't know that, you live in Georgia, look into getting your joint pardoned. You know what I'm saying? You just look, ChatGPT, Google it, whatever the case may be, get everything you need together. You know what I mean? You ain't been in trouble for a certain amount of time and everything. Do that, because at the end of the day, you don't gotta be looking for no problem, but you want to be able to have the answer for anybody that come calling, that want to come play. You know what I'm saying? Don't come over here playing, I promise you. You know what I'm saying? So, but outside of that, man, going to jail and shit, listen, that shit is booty. Sitting in jail was booty. You feel me? Sitting locked up in a cage being told what to do all the time, that shit ass. I don't care if you a gang member or a civilian, my nigga. At the end of the day, it's pros and cons to both, but at the end of the day, we're all incarcerated. You could twist your fingers up all your ass want. You could sit there and be the square dude off in the corner away from everybody all you want. We all gotta lock in at the same time. We all gotta go out for chow at the same time. We all wearing the same shit. You feel me? Certain jails might allow you to wear your own sneakers, allow you to wear certain jewelry pieces if it's religious or something like that. Yeah, you might have something different, but for the most part, we all the same niggas. You feel me? Like the COs, look at us as inmates. Just another number. So it's best to avoid that shit. But if you can't avoid it and you end up in it, just understand what come with it, shit. Because you run into somebody with my mentality, I ain't gonna baby you. I'm gonna tell you, nigga, you better stand on 10 and deal whatever blows in the wind. You smell me? So with that being said, that was that. Now I mean, that's from my standpoint, my experience through my incarcerations. That's the difference that I've known between civilians and the different levels of being a civilian. Know what I mean? And before I close out, I forgot one type of civilian. And this is a civilian that don't go into the Muslim category, don't go into being cool with a big homie, know what I'm saying? But also not the normal civilian. And that is the dudes with the respect. That probably had respect prior to gangbanging, to the gangbanging era, like a Akbar prayer, for instance. Like, them dudes are super rare, though. It's super rare for a civilian with a certain rep that would be incarcerated. And a lot of times, even though they could get it too, but when you somebody of that stature, some dudes just got so much respect for you that nobody won't do anything to you. A majority of people won't do anything to you. Now, a young boy might do something to you because they might not know who you are. So they might just see an opportunity and just try it. But them type of guys too, those are civilians too that are extreme outliers. You don't really see them. You know what I mean? Dudes of that stature. And the ones of that stature probably somewhere doing a gang of time still, or just coming home, you feel me, to where they probably ain't playing around like that to even get incarcerated with you. You feel me? But a lot of times they establish a certain rep and a certain respect. They ain't snitch, they ain't do that, they ain't back down. They did all this before it was a gangbanging situation. Know what I mean? So I forgot to add that too. But anyway, that's my experience. So now that part over, and for those that's still here, let me tell you about a grown groupie that I saw, man. This is crazy. So it's a movie theater down here called IPIC, right? IPIC. It's a high-end movie theater, luxury movie theater. When I say luxury, I paid $200. Actually, a little over. $200. No, not a little over. A little under, slightly under, probably like $180 something, whatever. Just for the movie tickets, parking, and drinks. Liquor, because they serve liquor. They sell food too, but I was seeing mixed reviews on the food. I'm not about to spend hella bread on no food, just a, you know what I'm saying? And it's 18% gratuity, which is mandatory add on top of your joint. You can't say no tip, none of that. You feel me? Just to get y'all idea type of place I'm talking about, but it's popping, y'all. If you could afford it, you want to experience in a movie theater that you probably ain't never had, I definitely recommend going to, I don't know if all the IPICs, but I know the one in ATL is for sure Brackington. But anyway, celebrity and things go there. So DC Young Fly happened to be there, right? Now this is after the movie. Me and my wife going to the bathroom area, use the bathroom before we leave. The bathroom area like a lounge. Everything in there is luxury looking. You know what I'm saying? Everything got the slightly dim lights, like fire. You feel me? So go and use the bathroom. I come out the bathroom. My wife's still in the bathroom. I'm chilling. I know I peeped him, but I didn't know if it was him until he started laughing while I was sitting there, and it just made me look up and his phone shining on his face. I sound, like I said, the lights is dim and sun had all black on. You feel me? Except for the 85 South hoodie. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that had white leather, but everything else he was wearing was black. You know what I'm saying? Look like a damn ninja. And he already a dark skinned dude, so he damn it was invisible. You feel me? So he started laughing and everything. I look, oh, this nigga D. See, I saw that tattoo he got in the middle of his forehead. I saw it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's son. And I left it at that. Got back on my phone because I'm just not a groupie nigga. You feel me? Like my name Wavvy, baby, and I'm really Wavy, like whoa, on some real deal. So I'm not doing that. But it was another nigga that came out the bathroom. Who was in the bathroom with me. Came out probably a couple minutes later. He sits down. DC, whatever looking at him, he got this nigga laughing because he started laughing again. Oh boy, see him. Mind you, we all right by each other. So the way I'm talking to y'all right now, literally the same tone I could be using speaking to him, and you would be able to hear me perfectly. You know what I'm saying? That nigga said, DC? Loud as hell, grown man with the grown beard. Son had a raw beard and everything. Like, you grown ass man, boy. You ain't even no little nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand you like somebody young, like a kid or even like a teenager. I'll give you that. You a grown man. And you just got fan groupied out right before my eyes like a transformer. It's crazy. Like, hey, like, DC? And nigga DC looked up. He like, cause now I'm looking like, I'm gonna see how this play out. Cause the way he said it, I caught groupie vibes from the rip. So DC like, yeah, what up, boy? He like, oh shit. That is you, DC Young Fly. Oh shit. Jump out of the seat all excited. Oh, shake his hand, everything. Like, boom. Mind y'all, I told you the way DC is dressed, he seemed like he trying to be incognito. I ain't see jewelry, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he talking to him. Then I hear him say, hey man, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm like, oh man. Know what I'm saying? So DC, when he said that nigga said, huh? In the face twitch, you could tell it was an involuntary thing. Because I do that to people too. Where they say something, just like I hit him with the twist. I'm not even thinking about it. Just an involuntary reaction because of what, nigga? So you could tell you hit him with the what, nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, I just want to know if you could check me out on Instagram because I'm a barber. Yeah, so you come across this video, nigga, yeah, I'm talking about you. You probably know I'm talking about you anyway, just the way I said, hey, DC, you feel me, at the movie theater. But yeah, and he said, I'm a barber. You know what I mean? So he's showing him his stuff on his phone. DC looking through it. He's like, all right. I ain't never seen him pull his phone out once as a person usually would when they're going to follow you, right? Like, oh, what's your shit? Type it in. Oh, word, follow you. I ain't see that happen. He put his phone down and just held his and was just looking real quick, real fast. And he like, I see you. He's like, yeah, man. So, you know, man, you ever need a freaking cut or know somebody need a cut, man? Like, this what I do, man. I'm a barber, man. Now, mind you gotta take a chance to shoot your shot. I'm not saying that, but it's a time and place for everything. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And a lot of niggas don't understand that. And a lot of people get starstruck easily. You feel me? I'm not doing none of that. Just my swag just won't let me do that. It's not. I don't have to think to not do that. I would have to think to do what he did. You know what I mean? For him, that shit seemed natural. You know what I mean? Like, this is me. Like, nigga, I see another celebrity walking after I see you, nigga. I'm about to T.I. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like Gucci. You feel me? I'm about to run up and tell them I'm a barber too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of vibe this dude give me. You know what I mean? So when I saw that, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I really just witnessed, because it's the first time I witnessed something like this in person, as far as somebody being groupie fan out. You know what I mean? Like, read the room, my nigga. Like, he don't seem like he trying to be on that. So anyway, what confirmed that DC wasn't trying to be on that is that we end up leaving. I mean, I don't know if he ever filed to do. I hope for his sake, after making himself like a clown like that, I hope he at least did. But I kind of got the feeling he didn't. But I hope for his sake he did. We leave and everything. Everybody we end up leaving. My girl, my wife come out. The female that DC was with, she came out, you know what I'm saying? Everybody came out, so we all ended up leaving. So it was some other people there too, but he was the only dude. That's the thing, I wasn't the only dude. When that movie let out, it was a few of us in there. You know what I mean? A few couples and everything. So we all leave, you know what I'm saying? And when we got to the parking garage, DC was parked literally not too far from it, and it's a huge parking garage, y'all. So what was the odds of that? I'm thinking I'm about to see some foreign shit. And this is not me trying to play him. This is just me confirming he was definitely incognito. Son jumped into, like, I ain't even gonna say the make, because I don't even know if you want that put out there. But he jumped into a type of car that even I, at my current tax bracket, is not driving. When I saw that, and I know this dude got more, I know he got more bread. Well, I don't know, but I would hope he got more bread than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will hope so. You feel me? Bro, I'm not driving that. But when I seen that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the hood special. That's the incognito. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta share this story with the people, man. Don't be no sucker. You know what I mean? I understand you ain't used to seeing celebrities. I understand. I'm not so adapted to seeing celebrities, even though I've seen quite a few in my life. You know what I mean? Especially living down here, and I've been going back and forth from down here since 2006. So I done seen a lot of celebrities, well, not a lot, but a nice amount, especially like rappers, you feel me? I done been around celebrities before they was known, like Flocka. I was around Flocka back when I moved down here for the first time in 06. I was around this nigga back when he was a tall, skinny with these short ass dreads. Like, my son just was baby as hell. You feel me? Like, so, but his mother always was his mother at that time, because Gucci was already doing his thing. His mother was somebody, but Flocka he was just a regular nigga from the freaking hood of Riverdale. You feel me? And I was in Jonesboro, which is right next to Riverdale. It's all Clayton County. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that was a story I wanted to share, because that right there blew my mind to see a grown man do that. I never witnessed that. But I'm also saying to myself, I hope I will be so popping one day that it's going to be people having that reaction when they see me. Because at the end of the day, I could understand that might be aggravating to some, but me, I'd be so grateful that, even though in my head, like, he's a clown, I still would have shot my father and everything, because it don't cost me nothing. That's the type of person I am. Not saying DC ain't that type of person, but for sure, me, I know me. Man, I'd be so happy that I made it to a point in life that people even recognizing me, you know what I mean? That it might irritate me a little bit, you know what I mean? Because I do have like my bipolar tendencies and things like that, but I feel like I would be able to look at me like, all right, bro, I entertain you real quick, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? I know the struggle's real, you feel me? But still, it's a time and a place for everything at the end of the day. So anyway, hopefully y'all rocking with that civilian versus gang member situation I was speaking about, and this little short story I added at the end, you know what I mean, in case some of y'all wasn't here for that, but for the ones that have been, for sure, I appreciate it, because I mean, you just watch through all that, and that watch time count, you know what I'm saying? Watch time count. Y'all know I've been trying to fight back on YouTube, because I ain't gonna lie, I've been dwindling, you know what I mean? I've been dwindling, you know what I mean? I recognize what it is, you know what I'm saying? I recognize. So with that being said, you already know, it's ATM Wavy, aka Mr. OMG, and you know it's me in this Wavy's world. Salute to all of you, the surface, for pulling up. You know, I appreciate it every single time. And hopefully everybody doing good physically and mentally, man, because shit is real out here, for sure. And mental health is wealth, for sure. All right? So hope everybody's smooth. Now, with that being said, appreciate y'all hit that like, hit that comment section, hit that sub, holla at the blood, join the Surfing Nation. We always waiting. Of course, hit the notification bell so when I drop something, it's going yell. And hit the hype, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get high as a kite, you know what I'm talking about? Send me up to the tippity top with the satellites. Ooh, bars. Bars. You feel me? And of course, you already know it's last but not least. Always look both ways before you cross that street, because you might get hit.
Wavvy.
But if the boy tall slick, I'ma blaze some.